And we are ready for Sonic Mania Plus with Argick. Good luck, my friend. Let's go.
You guys did this. We thank you for your donations, and now I have to wear this hat while doing it, so these guys can do it as well. Although there's one that's got an odd one out, so I'll leave you to try and spot that.
What do you mean?
Exactly. Alright, so we are ready to go on this one. Just a little bit through here for the hosties. Once we get to Mirage Saloon 1, you will have perfect time to talk about everything. Until then, I will ramble on as we go through. So, once we are ready, I'll give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go.
Did you lose the timer?
Whatever it's going.
That's fine.
Okay.
So, it's on...
World record pace.
Woohoo! World record pace right at the start here.
Run invalid.
So this is Sonic Mania Plus. It's got the Mania Plus DLC added onto it, and you might have noticed right at the very start there that we skipped the Angel Island cutscene. One of the things that the devs added to this for us is the ability to skip cutscenes, and it is fantastic. So we are taking full advantage of that. No more 2-frame window nonsense. And now we are going for best ending, so we are going to grab all the emeralds. If you're a fan of Quake or Unreal Tournament or those kind of things, here's strafe jumping for you. So you're meant to grab the blue spheres to get speed, and you're meant to grab the rings to get time. We are doing neither of those, and I'm overshooting the emerald. Emerald, come here, buddy. There we go. So unfortunately, we passed the emerald there, so we had to slow down. Yes, slow down in a Sonic game to go and get him. But we're going to be doing that through all 7 stages, which makes getting the emeralds pretty much done in about 5 minutes once we know where we're going. The big rings are routed in a specific way where we'll grab a few in some stages and others we'll just completely ignore, as we don't want to go off the speedrun track for these levels if we can help it. We will have all the emeralds by the end of Studiopolis 1, assuming all things go well. But we do have Tails with us. We bring Tails because he will help us out with a few tricks later on in the run. So we're just going to grab Emerald 2 here, fairly easy. Just, there we go, done. I think 2 seconds passed there before we grabbed that emerald. The game does have an anti-cheat mechanic there where if you are jumping and you are going towards the emerald at Mach 1, it will try and speed up and get away from you. You'll see that in a few of the stages. Hopefully it won't happen too much and cause issues, but we'll wait and see. You never know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. So we're just going to grab the invincibility here, as they were kind enough to put the invincibility right before the boss, so we have no reason to not use it. So the boss here, we need 6 hits, 3 on each guy, so we'll just bounce, grab 2, and then we'll jump up when he's down, bounce, and bounce. So that is him gone. And that is Green Hill Act 1. But yeah, so the main method of moving is going to be spin dashing, but in this game they have added the drop dash mechanic, which is when you just hold the jump button in midair, you'll do a spin dash, and you'll be seeing that just used throughout the run. There's also slope jumps as well, which we're going to use in Green Hill 2 here when we grab the speed shoes just up here. So we're going to grab the speed shoes, hopefully do a really good slope jump. Let's see how well it goes, and jump from the slope. Really well done there. So straight over, grabbing the fire shield if we don't clear it. Use the fire shield to grab a second set of speed shoes, and this will take us right towards emerald number 3. So do a spin dash here so we make sure we keep enough momentum going up to skip the springs. Another slope jump to get our way up the top here. Not quite high enough to make the full section, but that's fine. And then over we go, land on the spring. Goodbye fire shield, fire does not like water. And goodbye speed shoes, because you don't keep power-ups once you come out of a bonus stage. So Emerald 3 has been changed slightly. It starts slightly further forward now, and the reason for that is because you could actually catch this emerald without using any cheats at Mach 1. Yeah. But they had to change it, right? Hopefully, there we go, nice catch. But no, if you just followed the racing line, so it's like if you just took the corners really sharply, as a standard player you could catch that. So they've moved it forward to make that not possible anymore, but as a speedrunner we still know how to grab them really quickly, and it's not a problem. So holding down as we come out here, as we do want Tails to help us with the next boss. Unfortunately they didn't decide to put a hitbox on his leg, so I'm just going to stand under here. Good old Death Egg Robot. Scares you in Sonic 2, but in Mania here is a cakewalk. Tails just bouncing off and grabbing some hits. I'm copying Tails because why not? And part of the reason we bring Tails here is because he can carry us like he can in Sonic 3 Knuckles, and we're just going to use that to hit capsules really, really quickly on some of the stages. We can do their little fancy animations now. And again, just mash the start button here because we're just going to skip the cutscene straight away and head right into Chemical Plant. So the way these stages are designed, they're designed with certain gimmicks in mind. Chemical Plant 1 is pretty much just Act 1 and 2 of Chemical Plant from Sonic 2 put together. And that's the running theme with these stages is that if it's an old stage, Act 1 is just a remake. Act 2 is where the new gimmicks lie. And in this particular one, the gimmick is Flubber. And you'll see why I call him that later. But first, we've got to grab emerald number 4. So we want to turn to the right here, bounce to the left, keeping the momentum from bouncing, jump over and grab the emerald. And away you go. You can fall off the stage here. You don't want to fall off any of the stages, because then you have to go grab another big ring. And there are a finite amount of them, but it's all good because there's about 3 backups that we have. Hopefully we won't need to use any of them, and those backups will become 50 rings and allow us to go super. So we're just going to run away here, and then this part here, a lot of people will remember at the beginning of Act 2. And then away we go. And into big ring number 5, where hopefully we'll just do some quick bounces. There you go. Just caught it before you even get to the first corner. That's 5 emeralds in 2 stages. We're going to get super very, very quickly. But before that, we've got a really terrible boss fight coming up. And everybody who knows me and knows what's coming up is I'm bad at puzzle games. So Chemical Plant Act 2. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh, Puya Puya. No. No. Who said oh Puya Puya? But yeah, so we're just coming through the stage here, doing some loop jumps. If you time your loop jumps correctly, you can get a nice amount of speed coming out of them. If you're unlucky like I am there, you'll try and do a jump up a ramp, but you'll go too far backwards. It means you jump too late. So keep the speed here, do a jump to dodge the spring, off the camera because we're too fast, and big jump? Nah, not quite a big jump. If you're lucky, you can get a big jump, and that'll allow you to hit the boss before it comes down. Sometimes getting 2, maybe even 3 hits, especially if Tails decides to help you. But what we'll do is we'll just damage boost our way up there. So 1, 2, take another hit. And then 1, 2, and then 3. Nope. Thank you, Tails. Tails giving us a hand. He can be nice at times. There's other times where he can be a right fox. And we'll leave it at that. But yeah, so coming up into Act 2 here. Act 2's layout is entirely new. It's a very vertical stage. And we use Flubber. Now, there are 3 types of Flubber. We've got light blue Flubber, dark blue Flubber, and green Flubber. Dark blue Flubber will damage us, we don't want to touch that. Light blue Flubber gives us a tiny little bounce. And green Flubber, well, that's why it's called Flubber, because it sends us flying. And if anybody remembers Flubber themselves, you know you want to put some Flubber on your shoes, then you can be the best basketball player ever. So we want to go down the blue tubes. Always take the blue tubes, because if you go down the red tubes, you're going to go through the areas that you don't need to do. The blue tubes are the quickest speedrun route. Just hold up there to get past each of the individual sections. Again, more loop jumps. And hopefully we won't get hit with the dark blue guys. No, we are fine. Use the spring, slow ourselves down, hit the syringe to turn it into a big bouncy Flubber. And away we go. So another change between Mania and Mania Plus here is that normally Knuckles and Sonic were able to jump down slopes while holding down to gain an insane amount of speed. Unfortunately, that has been removed, so you can't do that anymore. It means every character's on a level playing field though, which is a really good thing for the Tails, Ray, and Mighty runners. So that's one of the reasons why Mania Plus is a different category, well, a completely different leaderboard on speedrun.com actually. There's a lot of little changes that make it worth separating out. Nice job there, mate. Unfortunately, his hitbox just decided, no, you didn't hit me, I hit you. Well, we're going to take the top right here because we're going to head to Emerald 6. Hopefully this guy's not going to snipe us, and don't get crushed. You can get crushed by those guys. You don't want to get that. You want to avoid it if at all possible, because the last checkpoint is a good 20-30 seconds away. So up to Emerald 6, the worst emerald in the stage for Classic mode, or Mania mode. And the reason it's the worst is because you've got mines. Mines will remove 10 rings from you every time you hit it. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay, let's see where we're going. Whee! Okay, we're just going to try and do the backup here. Bounce and run. Ding. There you go. Always know your backups for emeralds, that way if you do mess up the quick strats, you can still grab them without having to find another big ring. Because there's nothing worse than having to hunt down another big ring, because it'll just waste too much time. So we're on 6, we'll grab our 7th one at Studiopolis 1, as we are coming up to probably one of the best bosses casually, one of the worst bosses in the speedrun. Good loop. Please don't tell me I broke it. No, we're fine. So we're coming into Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Salt-Inducing Puyo Machine. And I say salt-inducing because I'm not a fan of it at all. But hopefully he'll be nice to us. So this is Mean Bean Machine, or Puyo Puyo, depending on how you want to put it in. And the plan here is for me to get the match 4s and hopefully get a lot of junk coming down. But this is not a good combo that we've got starting here. Let's see if we can salvage this in any way. We've got some greens with a red there. Red can drop, I suppose. So how am I doing this? We're going to use the purples. Yes, we are. So that's got a yellow blue, which is actually quite nice. Can I No. So unfortunately, I'm not getting a good stacking system here, which is not grand for me. I need a blue game. This is why I don't like Puyo, because I need a one color and it will not give me it. Dear game, please give me blue. Sincerely, Arg. There we go, there's a blue, so don't ruin it. Because then red, blue, hopefully I'll knock all them down. That gives that. Yeah, it's not even worth a combo, unfortunately. So this is a bad Puyo, because you can hear the music already looping. Hey, a twofer. I like twofers. I like more than twofers, though. But no, Puyo is one of these things where you can practice until the sun comes home, and unless you're actually a professional Puyo player, the game will just be mean to you. It is 5-color Puyo as well, so when you're wanting a specific color, the game understands this and decides, no, you will not get this color. And he's finally gone. So that was a really slow Puyo. Yeesh. Thankfully, in Encore mode and Knuckles mode, you can skip Puyo. So if you don't want to do Puyo, you can play one of the other categories. So one of the good things about Sonic Mania is that every character has their own unique thing to them. They're not entirely the same. And you can decide which character is for you, if you want to do certain bosses, if you want to skip certain bosses, or if you just want to use certain power-ups. So hopefully we get some good bounces. No, not off the bumper, thank you very much. There we go. Over we go. So we will grab our last emerald over here. We're going to do a number of drop dashes just to maintain speed while grabbing rings. Over in here. Time the jump. Did not quite time the jump, got stuck in the geometry, because that's the thing. So this is why Sonic Mania Plus is different from the casual games as well. Zips in this game, like classic Sonic games, you can zip vertically and horizontally. You can't do that in Mania. If you get stuck in an object in Mania that you're not supposed to be in, the game decides to correct it by just allowing you to jump vertically, but that's it. So this is a really bad emerald actually, I messed this up, but we should be able to catch it at one of the corners up here. So, come here, emerald. Fine. Come here. There we go. So defy the jump there, grab it. The way the emerald works is it has a radius around it. If you go in that radius, it will just catch you. And then that's it, you've got the emeralds. So we have all the emeralds. We can now be supersonic once we get 50 rings, and we jump and press the Y button. I apologize in advance if you guys enjoy the music. The soundtrack is fantastic. T-Lope's done an amazing job. But the only theme you're going to hear, besides the boss themes, is the super theme. Like, right now. So get used to this. Thankfully, it is about a minute and a half loop, or minute 20 seconds, instead of being 3 seconds. I'm looking at you, Sonic 3. It's literally a 3-second loop. So now we come to hold right the boss. No, not really. This is Heavy Gunner. What we want is we want the Heavy Gunner to give us a decent rocket. A 2 is perfect. We want a 1 or a 2. We do not want a 3. And by that we mean we want a top or a middle and not a bottom. So once this guy gets hit there, we are just going to hit the transition point. Allows us to transition into the next thing, grab some rings, and then we repeat the process another 3 times. So hopefully that's another 2. 2's not bad. The ideal pattern, I believe, is 2-1-1-1. You can get 1-1-1-1, but I've never had that ever. Oh, come on, give me the transition. There we go. I always move back towards the left-hand side there just to make sure I don't accidentally pass a transition point, because if you pass it, you have to wait for the full level to loop again. And you want to avoid that if at all possible. A 3, thank you, game. So that's 1 missile. That's 2 missiles. And then the 3rd missile. So you can see how long that takes. Well, you just got to wait for the missiles to blow up. Wait for the little loop. There we go. And 1 more. Plenty of rings here, which is good. There have been times where I was not watching my ring counter, ran out of rings, and was just holding right and died to the boss. And oh wow, 2-2-3-3. That was not terribly good luck there. So he's not looking forward to what's coming up here, so he just bails. And away we go. Goodbye, helicopter. So we're deliberately going to slow down here before we hit the finish of the level, because if you run straight through that, it'll launch it up into the air, and the end of level jingle here won't actually start until it's back on the ground. So if you slow down just before it, you make sure that that doesn't happen, and you're saving a couple of seconds there. So into Studio 2. Good jump. Boing, boing. So this level has been changed in Mania Plus as well. Last time you see me run this, we were able to do a little glitch with the pipes that allowed us to go straight through the level geometry and get towards the end of the level. Unfortunately, that doesn't exist anymore. That's been patched out. So we do have to just play this stage as intended for once. It's about one of the only stages that is actually not broken. So we're just going to run all the way through this. This is the part that you've seen, and then normally here is where we do the trick, but we can't do it anymore. So we're just going to jump off, transform, leg it, avoid the spring. Nice. Hopefully I'm going to see if I get a little trick here. Just fall straight through the bit, and nah, I didn't get it. If you position yourself on the edge of the funnel there, what it'll allow you to do is go through the funnel without actually getting the animation. As far as I'm aware, there's like a pixel or two window that you can do on it. I haven't tested it enough. But this is a different part of the level that people don't normally see, so we're going to just wait and fall down because we want to not hit things. Sonic Hat, please stay on. You were an incentive. Thank you. You must stay on now. I can't turn it yellow and be super, otherwise I would. So Sonic is LEDs. No, so too early on the loop jumps there. You can see if you get too early on the loop jumps, you just lose all speed. And we're just going to use Tails here to fly with the boss. As for whatever reason, if he's carrying Super Sonic, he also gets the property of being invincible, which is really nice. And then praying that the capsule doesn't troll me. This capsule can decide it doesn't want to come down. Come on, capsule. There we go. Tails hit it. Good job, Tails. Good job, buddy. So Tails is, his inputs are controlled by your inputs, just on about a second or two delay. So technically we all like to blame Tails for things, but honestly, it's just us being bad. So Flying Battery, everybody's favourite zone from Sonic 3. It should be Lava Reef, I'll have you know. But this level is on a global cycle. I want to be at a certain point through the level where the crushers are by 43 seconds. 43? Sorry, I meant 53. I'm shaving myself of 10 seconds there. Because when it gets to 53, that is when the crushers are active, and if you run through it, you will die. And my favourite type of death is crush death. So I'm Super Sonic, the only way I can die is either being crushed or getting off the edge of the map. I'm going to be doing neither of those things if I get the chance. So the lightning shield has a little bit of a special mechanic in this stage. As long as you're above a magnetized floor with a lightning shield, you will stick to it. It's a really interesting feature. They tried to make sure that each of the lightning shields? Wow. Each of the elemental shields had a different function in some levels. So we're using it here to get up to the top route. You can take the bottom route and use a fire shield path instead. However, because we're super, I like to take this route, and away we go. So we're just going to wait for the missiles. This is why people like to take the bottom route. The bottom route is faster, but it's much harder to do as well. And the way it works out for me right now is with my current skill level, they work out the same. I get to the boss at 119, if things go well. This might be slightly later. Nope, 119, every time. So he's going to press the button now. There's the blueprints for the Act 2 boss. And once again, same thing we did in studio here. We're just going to use Tails' invincibility frames to hit the boss that he gains. And once we lose Super Sonic, he loses his ability as well. So I am actually going to skip the cutscene here. You'll notice I have the lightning shield at the moment. Unfortunately, with the cutscene skips effectively load the next act as brand new. So it takes away our lightning shield, which is a shame. But it also means that Tails doesn't die because he's following us this time. And it saves about 10 seconds. I think all in all, the cutscene skips added to the run save about a minute 20, a minute 30. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure I grab enough rings here because I want to turn super at a certain point, but not before I have grabbed a lightning shield that will allow me to do more double jumps, as long as I don't mess it up over here. So we want to wait, and then we've got 1, and then 2, and then jump to get the lightning shield. Question is, will I get enough rings here? I'm going to be a singular ring short, aren't I? Game. Mine. Thank you. So what I'm doing here is I'm just taking this really slow because I'm chicken right now. Jump. There we go. That's normally meant to be done a lot quicker, but I just don't want to run the risk of dying in a marathon here. So now we've got super in this area, I can just use this and go. Pray that this thing doesn't crush me, because it goes up, trolls you, and immediately comes back down. So if you're not expecting it, it will get you. Skipping the first one. Oh, I didn't skip the second one. You can skip the second grabber here, but it's slightly precise as to where you actually have to jump. If you jump too late, you just bonk off the spikes. If you jump too early, you get grabbed by it. And there is a new glitch with this one that will allow you to skip the boss. It requires you to not be super and have the lightning shield, but at the moment I'm unable to do it, so I'll just do the boss really quickly. Hopefully going to grab a few double hits. Up we go, into the boss, and the boss pops down. So this boss can't be damaged by us. It is completely invincible to both Super and regular Sonic. So what we're going to have to do is just bonk him into the spikes. And hopefully, there we go. 1, 2, 3. No double hit? Okay, there we go. We got 4, which makes it easier for me to get 2 hits here. If his hitbox spends too much time in the spikes there, you can get a double hit. Ideally, you can gain all 6 hits on the first set of spikes by gaining all the double hits. But it requires you to hit the boss at a precise angle and at the right power. So you can't just run into him and hope that it works. But coming up to the next stage, the second of the brand new stages, Press Garden. Probably one of the more fun stages, I would think. So the gimmick for this particular stage is that inside the printing press, apparently paper is bouncy. So we're just going to bounce off all the platforms here. Didn't get my little jump that allows me up onto here, which is fine. And then we're going to go down and grab boing into the big ring. And we're going to use Super to navigate the rest of this stage. And then jump, jump. Super outrunning the camera is always a good thing. So I want to be over here by about 29 seconds. That's fine. They've just spawned for me. So this is first cycle. You can get 0 cycle, but getting that is fairly hard, and you need to be pretty much perfect at grabbing everything. Any bonk and you're away, because you have about a second to get there and jump, and any sort of delay will just ruin that for you. So hopefully this will put us straight in. No controls pressed other than the jump button. Away we go. Sonic can get locked into a position there where he's stuck in ball form. Don't panic about that and just let him hit the spring. It'll fix it for you. And then, do we try the jump? Yeah, let's try the jump. Come on then, jump. Be nice to me. Nope, it failed it. Whap, whap. So we'll do the backup. Or not. The game's put me down the bottom route, so we'll just take the slow route through the level. So what happened there was I hit one of the path swappers, which allows you to... It's how the game understands to put you on certain layers. You can either be on the background layer or the foreground layer. And that's how they differentiate between different routes. So it does mean that I'm going to be doing no fire shield strats in the next stage. But we have a boss coming up, and I lose control here, so what we're going to do is we're just going to wave to the boss. So here's the boss. He's waving at us. Just wave back to the boss. Hi, boss. And then we're just going to go beat him up. Sorry, boss, but you have to go. I know you're being friendly. So he's waving goodbye. Goodbye, boss. So normally we would have a fire shield here, but unfortunately we didn't get the correct route for it as we failed the jump. What was meant to happen there was you do a jump and a drop dash, but sometimes the drop dash input just doesn't go off for you. So Sonic's going to moonwalk, and then we're just going to do standard strats. And we don't skip that cutscene because you can skip it, but there's no need to because it's so fast anyway. You actually lose time if you try and skip it. So as you can see, this gimmick is we're outside and we're frozen, because why not? Don't get hit. Thank you. That was actually straight through. That was well done. So I'm just trying to grab as many rings as possible here. I think I'm going to have to go for the specials. Yeah, I am, because this is not a good stage. Up we go. No, I should be fine, because there we go. I'm at 43, which allows me to grab the 10 rings and transform. And then spin dash into the spring, because you don't need to break the ice. Hitbox extends far enough. And then we're going to get frozen. Keep an eye on Sonic's eyes, by the way. Especially now. No. Yeah, they made an ability for you to control his eyes while he's not moving any particular direction for some reason. It's like if he's going up or down, it's like you can just control his eyes. He's like, what's going on? So Heavy Shinobi here, we're just going to let him hit us because he'll get hit instead. Our hitboxes overlap and we win. And we'll do that 3 times, and that is the level finished. So we're going to just do single tap spin dash and then hold left. That should land me on the capsule every time. Good job. And then using the power of the Phantom Ruby, Mr. Dr. Eggman is going to send us off to Little Planet and Stardust Speedway. So Stardust Speedway is a level that's fairly auto-scrollery-ish, especially Act 2. This level, you just want to... Don't hit that, thank you. No game. Bad game. Don't send me that way, game. So the way those loop things work here is that they've got a layer that puts you straight into ball form and gives you a lot of speed. This is to ensure that you actually get enough speed through those and you don't get stuck. Unfortunately, I accidentally just touched it, resulting in me going for a ride, basically. So into the worst room in the level. Hello, Spike Room. Please don't hit me, Spike Room. I'm sorry, Spike Room. Thank you, Spike Room. can be really mean there. Depending on your time going in there, you'll just get hit and run into trouble. I'm not getting any of those rings. Thank you. Speedrunner noises part 3. Somebody should make a book. Things speedrunners say and noises speedrunners make. They'll make a fortune. And then donate it all to charity. Wahey! But no, so this boss is coming up. We're just going to jump straight down to this area. And then this guy. Hello. He dims the lights for us just to announce his presence. It's like, I'm here! It's like, we know. Get out of the way. And we're just going to make sure we hit all these guys as they come down. 1, 2. And then we're just going to bounce off the boss. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. And I win. So Stardust Speedway 2 coming up. This stage is pretty much like a roller coaster, I would think. You just let yourself go and the level will play itself. So we're just going to skip our way through into that one. Hopefully we grab enough rings. We should be able to, because they've changed the Metal Sonic boss as well. Those that have watched this before might remember the Metal Sonic fight being slightly unfavourable in RNG. It still is to some degree, but they've changed the second phase of the fight to make it more interesting. Also a giant reference to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And then big jump here. There we go. So just run, let the game play. Jump over and then straight down. So when you're ready, game. Thank you. I'm not making that. Nope. Yeah. Oh well. Transform time. Whee! So transforming now, and because the level has been shortened, the boss has been shortened, we can get away with transforming now and don't have to grab as many rings either. Hi Tails. I also like you guys, so we'll give you the boss music instead of the super music. So once his flames appear on screen, the screen unlocks, allowing us to go, and hopefully we'll get a decent ascent up here. So this part is still the same, and we are going to go into the Silver Sonic fight, so hopefully Metal does exactly what we need him to. Do a dash attack and then come after us. Where is he? There he is. He dashed the wrong way. Get in the hole, Metal. Thank you. So now, instead of having to hit this guy 4 times, we only have to hit him 3. Thank you for dashing. Don't dash. We want you to spin. So we only have to hit him 3 times now. Also, if Silver is being mean, you can just blow him up and he'll fire off little particles that'll hit Metal as well. But they only count as half damage for some reason. Wow, this pattern is bogus. 3 for 3 on the bad one. Normally he'll spin dash in the middle. He decided he wasn't doing that. Ring count should be okay, because we're going to get 9 up here as we come through. Yeah, there we go. Whee! It was actually 12, I can't count. But this part is now different. Instead of having to do a second set of running up the top, Metal gets infused with the Phantom Ruby and becomes, well, I think it's Metal Sonic Kai is what they call him. Please don't fire your laser beam. Please don't fire your laser beam. As you can see, there's a shout out to Sonic 3 and Knuckles because Tails just fell at the left-hand side of the screen there. You don't want to go down that side. It is death. And then there goes the Phantom Ruby. MVP Armadillo Dude. Saving the game. The game could end right here because we have the Phantom Ruby, but he saves it. So now into Hydro Setting. Because we skipped the cutscene, we start down the bottom. Saves a couple of seconds there as well. Don't have to wait for the fall down to happen. And then hopefully, if I do it right, we can do the drop dash. Keep running. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then jump, drop dash, go. Smooth. And then jump at the first ring to fall straight down. And then tap a spin dash. Because you don't want to go really fast here. Because if you go too fast, you'll end up bonking onto walls and slowing yourself down. Whereas if you do it the single tap, you just gently glide all the way down. So we're going to press left here and just casually phase through the floor because that's a thing. And then away we go. So down and then transform in the door. And then this will allow us to keep the bubble shield and allow us to move slightly faster underwater. We want to keep the bubble shield for a strat that's going to be used in Act 2. It also just allows us not to drown. Thankfully the elemental properties are kept as long as you're in super. Apart from the fire shield. The fire shield can melt ice in Press Garden, but if you turn super, suddenly you can't. Not entirely sure why that's a thing, but it's a thing. Good speed. And then we should hit this checkpoint probably about a 119 as well. 118, yeah. Hello, swimming. Not a clue why he's swimming here, but he likes to swim. Do 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 do. Another little change that they've made is that the boss music continues to play here. Normally the Hydro music will continue playing, but they've changed it so that it's actually the boss theme, which makes sense. Gotta wait for this anyway. Don't spin too fast, you'll get crushed. And again, crush deaths are very bad. And then we're just gonna grab this guy 4 times. Hopefully he'll go to the right, but he's going to the left. Don't you drop your mine. Nope. Thank you. Go to the right. That's going to the left again. But you're at the left anyway, so you'll donk off the wall. Go to the right. Oh, man, why? Alright, it's really quick hits, which is good, but normally we want to move him over to the right, so the camera is already over there by the time we get here. Not a massive issue, we just got to wait. Camera catches up, and we can jump out. Slow down so we don't send it flying. And keep the bubble shield. The other thing is make sure you don't go off on the right hand side of the screen, because if any part of Sonic is off screen, the game will force him back towards the middle where the signpost is, and we don't want that. So just make sure you're not too far. Hopefully we get the bounces here. That is not going to give me any of the bounces. Nope, not taking it. I will not risk it. I don't want to go down the bottom right in this level. You go down the bottom level and you will do what Tails did. So the good news is he just grabbed me 11 rings, so thank you, Tails. And you get to respawn back up here, so it's good being the computer, isn't it? Wish I had that power. But debug mode is not allowed, so we can't do that. So don't hit me, thank you very much. So I would normally say there's 53 rings between now and the first checkpoint, which means you don't want to get hit. But because Tails grabbed us 11 rings, we're golden. We're golden. Still don't want to get hit, but we're golden. Or at least we will be in a minute. So just land immediately in that. Jump down, jump up, transform. Goodbye, Jawas. So this stage kind of loops itself like the infinity symbol, but we're not going to do that. So you're meant to go over to the right and then back to the left. We're just going to ignore that entirely and do a spin dash jump up here. Hit the trigger and then allow us to fall all the way towards the end of the level. We're going to do that again, because it's 2 figure 8s, but we're going to do neither of them. What's happening is you're hitting the appropriate layers that allows the game to go, oh, you've actually done this already, that's fine. So now you can go this way. So a nice big jump here, and then we're going to do the exact same down this side. Instead of going all the way, we're just going to stop and then just jump casually through the pipe there. Get enough height, you just phase right through it. It's not solid at that point. And away we go. So now we are into the next boss. Now this boss has been changed slightly. Normally we can use Tails to grab a second hit. Unfortunately, if we let him go, Tails just goes flying way before we can even get the objects on screen, which is unfortunate. I believe there is a way that it's been changed in Encore mode that you can get an extra 2 or 3 hits. But because we don't have full control of Tails on this one, we're unable to do it. Yeah, see, he just got hit there instead of doing a spin, which is a shame. But there we go. Thankfully, he did go off screen and come back, which means he's got refreshed air and he's with us for the second phase, which is still the same. So Tails, buddy, old pal, old chum, thank you very much. Boss. Hello? Boss, thank you. What is that? Boss just said, I ain't spawning. No, go away. He's meant to appear instantly on screen. He just decided, no, I'm done. What is this? Yeah. So that, for some reason, this cutscene we can't skip. So please, Sonic, don't go slow. Thank you. Thank you. Wherever you go. Good job. Now, I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to let our host speak, because we're in Mirage Saloon 1, which is an auto-scroller here, so I just need to grab 50 rings and then enjoy the 2 minutes of plane ride. Also, oh no. The hosts aren't listening. You can say things if you would like.
Oh my god, I can say things.
You can.
Very well, then I shall say things. I will say that we'd like to thank you all for watching the United Kingdom Speedrunner Gathering, a 2-day speedrunning marathon held 4 times a year. We're coming at you live from Glasgow, Scotland. We are raising money to support Young Minds, a charity leading the fight for a future where all young minds are supported and empowered, whatever the challenge is. Your donations help them to make sure young people get the best possible mental health support and have the resilience to overcome life's difficulties. We'd like to thank you all for donating. We would also like to thank ESA for supporting this marathon. Besides providing us with their channel for streaming, they're sharing gear, technical assistance, and sponsors. Plus, we'd like to remind you that if you donate at least $5 during this marathon, you will be entered in the draw to win one of 2 Steam codes for Battleship Brigade provided by one of our runners, Tricro. As for upcoming incentives, we currently have Crash Team Racing, the Warp Glitch Showcase, standing at $10 out of $150. I'm sure we can get it. There's still quite a bit of time to go, so if we start donating now, we should be able to get it by the time the run comes along. So yeah, I pass it back to you, Mr. Arg.
Yeah, just in time. So what I've done here is I've transformed while the train is pushing me to the left. The game has now got confused. I've hit the checkpoint, but then I've also died. But because I've hit the checkpoint, it's going to spawn me right there, and it skips the entire train section. Really good little super glitch there. And it makes this boss quite easy, because you don't have the... If you spin dash too far to the left in this game, while you're on the plane, you'll just fall off and die. It's a shout out to Sonic 2, and I'm not sure why they put it there, but they did. So this boss, we've got the Caterpillar. We want the Caterpillar to bounce 3 times out of the sand. It'll either bounce once, bounce 3 times, or go to the left or right side and bounce twice there. And it's like, please don't do that. Please don't. Oh, that's actually not too bad. Come on, one more. Nope, okay, bad RNG. Bad parm. The parms in these bosses are being terrible today. Sonic head, stop falling off my head. Thank you. But yeah, so that is Act 1 complete. So we're going to say goodbye to the tornado, because I don't think Tails is going to be able to repair this one. It's just landing in the sand now. But this is why we need Tails. This level specifically is why we need Tails now. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use Tails to effectively skip the boss of this stage, if he likes to behave. He hasn't been behaving for me recently, so hopefully he'll be nice. So we're just going to transform it into Super. We're going to head straight to the boss. The level itself is fairly short. A lot of gimmicks is just that it's a Wild West theme with a lot of pinball elements added into it. Little water jugs as well, just reminding you to stay hydrated. So we're just going to run away down here. Hopefully don't get caught on the chair. Oh, we got caught in the chair. Bad chair. Dun 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 dun. Tails playing the keyboard on the piano. Right, so we need Tails to disappear or respawn for us. Come have some ice cream, Tails. I need to listen carefully for this. So Tails, have some ice cream. Good job. So we sent him down to the boss. Nope, he's been mean. Tails. So Tails disappeared there. I need him to come back. Thank you. Come on, Tails. In we go. Nope, he's not wanting to hit it. Because Tails is below us and he has the same inputs that we have, but he's just been slightly mean. So, up, up, right, round. There we go. So now that we've despawned, normally we have to worry about going to the barrel, but because cutscene skips are now a thing, you can't get soft locked here anymore. So unfortunately, that's taken a little bit longer than we would have liked, but we still made it through, which is all good. I'll need to go rework how I do my inputs for that. Oh, don't get crushed. Thank you very much. That would be a bad idea. Typical way of dying to these things is you get hit by the flames and then you get crushed right after it. It's like, it's not a way to go. But it doesn't matter, because we have the big ring and we have the fire shield, which is great. But the fire shield disappears, so we don't get to set the oil on fire anymore. We're going to use our increased jump height and our increased speed just to navigate the top section of this stage. And hopefully, depending on the timing here, what are we doing? We are going the bottom route. If the third one was about to ping up, I would take the top route. As it doesn't really matter too much which route you take. Don't bounce on the item box. For the first time ever, you don't want to bounce on that item box. Good timing. Away we go. So this is going to be about a 53 by the time we get to the boss. So hello, Bob the Builder. He can fix it. We also gave him his You Try sticker. We give him it daily because unfortunately he doesn't even get an attack off. I'm sorry, Bob. We tried. So this is another one of the stages where you can decide if you want to do the cutscene skip or not. Personally, I'm going to keep the fire shield, so I'm not going to bother. And you'll see why. Because the way this stage works is quite literally, you fall down and oh look, I have control, so that's it, we're already in. Don't have to wait for the splash screen or anything, and then the splash screen actually plays when the transition's already happened. So I'm about 5 seconds into the level before the game's already said, oh wait, the level's here. Now, because of this, we didn't actually hit the trigger for any of the smog clearing system to actually start activating. So the smog, although meant to be draining my rings, it never will because it's not active until I or Tails hits one of the... I'm trying to think where they are. One of the switches. We'll just call them switches. Pulleys, that's it. We'll call them pulleys. But we don't want them to hit them. Especially considering this effect persists into the boss as well. But if you skip the cutscene, because the trigger is never hit if you skip the cutscene either, everybody can now do this glitch. Just a little oversight as to how some of the levels actually work with the cutscene skips added. Again, I would much rather have the cutscene skips though. It's phenomenal that they're a thing. So just coming down to the boss here, just jump over the submarine and into the boss. So hopefully we get some decent hits on this boss here, and he's not mean to me. 3, 4, good. Bye Tails, nice knowing you. Tails deciding just to go for a swim in the oil. Don't swim in oil. So we just gotta wait for this guy, because it's not possible to get 8 hits on the first cycle. He disappears too quickly, and the invulnerability frames are just too long for you to gain any more hits on it. I mean, he has invulnerability frames, and here's invulnerability flames, because we're invulnerable with them. And they've changed the location of the capsule on this one. It's actually on a submarine. Now this one I'm going to let you play, because what do you think submarines do? Yeah, they fly. It's like, why is your submarine flying? Alas, there you go. So this is how we get into Lava Reef. I always wondered how we got here, and it gives you 6 rings at the start, which is nice. If you skip the cutscene, you don't get those 6 rings. And they've also made it so that if you're in ball form while you hit that door, for some reason, you're stuck unless you jump out of it. So I'm not quite sure why that's a thing now. But this just makes grabbing these rings slightly easier, because I have 6 extra that I don't have to worry about. As you can see, I can just do a nice big dive in there now and grab a whole bunch. Normally, you need to grab pretty much every single one of them. Hit the button. Jump to the left, jump to the right, then hit the button. Didn't get my little loot there. That's fine. Nah. Spin. Away we go. So on and up and away. We're just going to wait for this guy to disappear. Once he's gone, we can navigate the rest of the level. Hopefully, this will be about a... Yeah, it's going to be about a 59 before we get up to that crusher. So obviously the time is different as well, just because of me watching the cutscene at the start there. I'm going to wait and take that safely. And then don't get hit by the spring. And hopefully don't get subpixeled either. Subpixels are unfortunately still a thing in this game as well, where you'll randomly come to a complete halt because you've hit something, but there's nothing on the screen to have actually hit. Good old subpixels. Big jump. Oh, fantastic jump. That's the best jump in the game, getting all the way up the stairs there. It sounds really daft, but it's really smooth when you do it properly. Thank you for clapping for one of my favourite jumps in the game, yes. That's all it is. It's just like, it's my personal favourite. There's no thing about it in the game. It's just to get that awesome feeling of like, I did that. So grab the fire shield here, as I will like to use this for Act 2, and then hopefully get to the boss and not go too fast. Because if you go too fast and hit the right hand side of the screen there, you can fall down into a debug area and softlock, where you can't actually kill the boss anymore. So I'm just casually stuck against the boss there. Boing, 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 boing. Hopefully we don't get a phantom hit here. A phantom hit is where you get the 8th hit on the boss, but the boss doesn't die. So you have to get a 9th, but it stops the timer and it also stops super form. Nah, we're good. We're good. But I'm not going to skip this cutscene because I want to keep the fire shield for the start of Lava Reef 2. So it's balancing, do you want to take the time save or do you want to keep the elemental shield that you have? So we're just going to let him do his little spin dash down to the bottom here. It's also really good how these cutscenes form it, like it forms the story in one complete world. Oh look, someone's laptop is no longer streaming. I thought I turned notifications off. Yay me. AKA my laptop's just went in its standby mode, I think. Remember folks, turn your notifications off. So I use the fire shield for this area up here as we want to do a dash and then another dash. So we don't have to wait for this cycle to go into position. Then transform, get pushed into the wall. And this is the only instance of zipping that really happens in this one. Encore mode has this thing called partner swaps, where you will be using a lot of clips like that. So if you want to see how this game actually functions on the coding level, Encore mode is where it's at. But yeah, as we were saying, the way that works is that you get stuck into the block there, and the block just turns around and says, okay, no, you're not meant to be inside here. I'm going to push you out to the right hand side. And then because you're stuck inside the level geometry, the level goes, no, you can go up now, and allows you to get past the path that you're not meant to be able to get through. If I actually held jump there, we would have got up there, which would have been amazing. So coming down to Heavy Rider and Jimmy the Motorbug. 113 is about average for me on that one. So coming through, just gonna wait for the thing to rise up. Come on. And then the boss spawns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn around. 1, 3, 4. Tails actually got a hit there. Well done, Tails. So wait for that to rise up. Hit it as quickly as possible. And away we go. Little planet in the background there. That is where we're going again. This time for Metallic Madness, aka the anime stage. Do you like anime? Because if you like anime, this is anime. And you'll know why. I heard someone say no. What is an anime? Oh. This is anime. Restart because you don't want to go the bottom right. The bottom right in this stage is not worth doing. It's about 4 minutes long if you try and do it. And I am not practiced on it, so I am not going that way. It just means more anime for everybody. Thanks for the jumps on it. Too much thinking about anime and not actually doing muscle memory. Up, 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 up. To deliberately take damage so we get past this guy. Drop, dash, and jump onto the spike. And then up past here before he gets hit. And then 3 jumps over. Not hitting the spring like Tails did. And then praying that we actually get something good here. Please don't fall down. Thank you. Yeah, you really don't want to take the bottom right in this stage. It's just unforgiving, to say the least. So I'm just going to wait for this area. You can charge your drop dash, but if you are unlucky and you catch it when the cylinder is in the middle, you're pretty much guaranteed to get crushed. So, goodbye anime, hello super music. There's a running theme here. So, jump up, jump up. This is where we used to be able to do a boss skip with Sonic and Tails. Unfortunately, they raised the ceiling, which prevents us from doing that clip anymore. It can still be done with certain characters, just not with this combo. So we're going to have to just come in and do the boss here. Hello, big boss man. Welcome to Sonic 1. We'll see if we can make it where Tails doesn't get crushed. I like Tails. Tails is a good guy, sometimes, when he's helpful. We don't want him to get crushed if we can help it. So we just got to wait for these to come down 4 times, and then he'll go into a desperation mode where it teaches you how to count to 4. Tails is going to get crushed. Oh, he didn't. Ooh, I almost got crushed. That would be bad. If it's me or Tails, I'm sorry, it's Tails. Arg, you can't do things. Tails, oh. Rip. Rip Tails. Rip Tails and rip me actually getting the hit there. Oh, it's going to happen again. Told you! So now we can count to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 4th one is where he's hiding. Tails, come on. I know you can count to 4, but that's 3, so stop it. There we go. So Tails got crushed 3 times. If you said 3, congratulations, you are correct. So again, don't want to be any pixels off the screen or the game will force me back to the signpost, which is just not what we want. And away we go. But yeah, the boss skip here is gone. For me, I'm quite thankful for that, because having a run killer this far into the run was just infuriating to run against. However, I know a few people that were like, technically it'd be nice if it was still there. And I understand the concept, but I'm glad that it's not. I will play Encore mode if I wish to skip him. So, we are now at Chibi, everybody's favourite, Chibi Supersonic, yay! So the Chibi form here, I'm just going to wait and pull the hat down again because the hat's falling off. And then hopefully spin dash and get the jump. And when you slow down, nope, we were fine, which is good. So again, Chibi allows you to go down certain pipes. Obviously, if you were normal size Sonic there, you are not getting through that, regardless of how hard you try. You need to be small form. I don't think I'm going to miss my 58 cycle, but we'll see. That was a good jump, actually. I might make it because of that. It's going to be tight. Oh, 58. 58? Yes, made the 58 cycle. If you don't make the 58, you have to wait till 102. It's just a case of you have to wait for those platforms to spin before you can fall through it. And now we have the RNG machine, so the first thing coming out is an Amy. Goodbye, Amy. And then we're going to have the Sonic 2 boss. A Sonic 1 boss. And then an Amy. Oh, it wasn't an Amy. Nice. The Amy's coming next. And then once this boss is away, hopefully Tails will be a good dude. Got invincibility frames though. Go Tails, go, 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 go. Oh, he got shot out. Tails can hit the boss from off screen there, just to let him drop a little bit quicker, but his invincibility frames ran out, so he got hit instead. And we're heading over to the second last level. This is going to be very tight in the estimate, actually. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. So Titanic Monarch 1, here we go. This is probably my favourite of the new levels that were brought into the game. It's such a good level. It takes everything that you have learned from the game and puts it into just one fantastic zone. Wait for the lightning to disappear there, because we don't want that. Tails will hopefully respawn. Yes. Right, Tails. Gonna be nice to me? Tails, why you being mean? Okay, I'm just gonna take the Sonic route, because Tails has been mean. He killed the enemy, which was nice, but he didn't let me grab him, so no. So no, Tails, no, we do not take this. Fall down here, and then hopefully hit this. Up we go. Doing, 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 doing. Jump over, jump in. Sonic's face is a crash test dummy. He's not a happy fan of this. But no, please. Again, many speed, much speed. Bad camera, disappearing. Speaking of the camera, it might troll me in a minute, which I'm kind of hoping it won't, but we'll see. I don't like the fact that that third one doesn't allow you to get up straight if you get a perfect jump on it. You just fall short, which is unfortunate. Okay, so the camera might troll me here. I'm hoping it doesn't, but it might. Okay, good, it didn't troll me. Sometimes the camera can get locked and you end up just having the screen slowly but surely wrap vertically up to try and catch you. Don't get crushed, which is good. So up we go, and then we're going to head over towards where Red Eye is meant to be. There we go. Through the orb, through the orb, through the orb. Down, down. Up, 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 up. Right. Sonic's walking on air. So jump up. Drop dash. Gives me enough height to hit the spring, so we don't have to spin dash or hit the other spring. Straight up and then down into Red Eye. So Red Eye is basically fairly the same as he was normally. He starts off with the 10 or so orbs that you have to hit. Maybe 8, maybe 10, I've not counted. But then he comes out and he controls gravity now. Thankfully though, Sonic, it doesn't really matter with any other character other than Knuckles. If the gravity is heavy, every character in their super form can still hit him. Obviously Tails can fly, so he has an advantage. But Knuckles doesn't have enough jump height. And unfortunately there have been times where he has made the gravity heavy about 12 times and killed a run for a lot of Knuckles runners. So that thing I was saying about a run killer right at the very end, yeah, this is worse. So we are on Titanic Monarch 2 here. The final level of the game. Second last boss though. As we do have all the emeralds, so we do have the good ending fight to do with Egg Reverie. So this room is split up into 4 different sections, and the idea is that you complete the sections to open up the portal to the boss room. Hopefully we can transfer a drop dash into the wall. No, we missed that entirely. Well done. Let's try it again. Nah, okay, we're just going to do it normally before we get zapped. Ow, we got zapped anyway. Tails, where are you, buddy? So that didn't work. Go, 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 go. And then we jump out to grab these rings, land on that. Hopefully we bounce. Thank you. I'm going to just jump here. I'm going to make that cycle, bounce over, and then we'll transform up the top, as I don't want to transform yet. Transforming takes about 2 seconds and kills all momentum that you've got, so if you can pretend that you don't need to transform yet, that's really good. Like, so transform up here is fine, because you'd have to wait to hit the ground anyway. And then away we go. So now we have the ultimate form of Supersonic, which is Supersonic with a lightning shield. And because of that, it means all rings are going to magnetize right towards me, which is fantastic. As we want to make sure we maintain super form all the way to the boss. So as this is happening, we're just going to come all the way through, doing the gravity orbs, gravity spheres. I might make that. Yeah, I think that's fine. Sometimes you can run through that while it's going back up and you'll get crushed by spikes. It's like, why did you even bother? It's like, just wait. A little bit of patience. Once again, even Supersonic doesn't like being a crash test dummy. Who knew? So up we go. Into the next 2 levels. So there was a little skip here. Unfortunately, it's been patched as well. They put a second spring in there that allows you to not go through the floor. I think devs don't want you to go through the floors for some reason. I wonder why. So if I do a jump here and then hopefully... Oh, interesting. Right, so over, onto the spring. Straight jump up here to land on this orb. Nope, didn't get enough height off that one. Oh, straight up. Oh, unlucky. Could have been 3 straight ups there, which would have been very nice. So final room. Going to do a bit of swag in here. Run the ceiling. Swag. There we go. And then nice big jump. Making it up so we don't have to use the platforms. And then hit the springs to take us to the top route. And then I'm going to take the secret exit from this stage as well. So we're going to jump down here to maintain speed. Get a nice big jump here. Keep the speed going. And then a big jump here to the secret route. Because normally you need to take a certain number of... It's like kind of spinny poles, but we don't need to do that. Because we can just use Supersonic's increased jump height. And then into the boss. So we will be taking a visit to one of the heavy rooms. As it doesn't matter if you destroy the... It doesn't matter if you destroy the cables anymore, you still have to take 1 visit. But until then, we're just going to be boing off the boss. So boing, boing, boing.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
You do indeed.
Alright. We have a $10 donation from Klex saying, "Hey all, Klex here. Nice hat. Hope you all are having a wonderful time. Good luck on the run, Argick."
Thank you. And yes, it is a nice hat, isn't it? So here we've got the crystal hands. Tails, get grabbed already, dude. Thank you. So we have the heavy gunner shooting away some of the missiles. We just have to make sure all the missiles are off screen, and we will get sent back to Dr. Eggman. Hello, Monsieur Eggman. I'm just going to bounce off his shield again because it's fun. Boing, 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 boing. Don't give me dumb sounds. I'll take full advantage of them. Boing, 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 boing. No, it's not the end. The end is coming up soon. We've got 1 more level to do because we got the emeralds. We're about to get taken into Egg Reverie, which is just a pure boss fight, pure super form boss fight. So goodbye, Tails. Thank you very much. So it is coming up now. So time is coming up fairly soon. We've just got to do the last couple of hits here. So the way this boss fight works is that these 2 guys are fighting over the Phantom Ruby. Why this has decided to happen, I'm not too sure. It's not really explained that well. But we're just going to intervene using the power of the Chaos Emeralds. And we can fly. Woo! So the idea is that you want to break his orbs there and then get straight in. Unfortunately for Eggman, he's a bit of a pushover in this fight. You just let him donk us and then we hit him back. But hopefully Heavy King here is going to be nice. We want to try and do a spin dash right through all the orbs without getting hit. We want to hit these guys as soon as they are vulnerable. But they can change and be a little bit mean like he's been right now. Thankfully the second hit there went straight through and hit him. But again, Robotnik just, nah, he's good. It's all good. Okay, so we hit some, but then he's put them back in. That flash there is the dash ability that you've got in this one. You can spend 5 rings to do a super dash. Unfortunately for the speedrun, it's not really used. There's also infinite rings in this stage as well. They just appear constantly. And you have the magnet effect as well, so it's pretty nice. Because I can imagine trying to catch these without the magnet effect would be a bit of a pain. Oh, nice! Straight bounce. So we're hitting them one after the other. It's 8 hits on both. So once Heavy King is gone, it's 1 more hit in Robotnik, and then we will be going. So time is coming up fairly soon. So I believe it's the last hit on Heavy King here. Okay, well, no, we're not going to this time. So time is coming up, and time. And there we go, that's Sonic and Tails, good ending, all emeralds, Sonic Mania Plus. Fantastic run there. Again, thank you for all your donations for getting the hats to be worn, and thank you to the other guys for wearing their hats as well. Really appreciate it. It was good. For some reason, my cutscene's in black and white. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's in the past, is apparently the golden theory. But there we go. So Sonic heading off to Sonic Forces now. This is where he goes after this one. It's Knuckles. So serious. And Knuckles. And Knuckles. But there you go. That is Sonic Mania. So we are good to go for the next run.